Alright, folks, so I've got another one for you, and this time it is Suicide Squad, the soundtrack album. Now, with this, I recommend the first thing you do is probably go see the movie. I don't think I should have to say it, but this is kind of like the supplement to it. And I think really, with most movies, it's just not often that I pay attention to a soundtrack when the movie comes out. But I do think that it's time to mess with this. So this came out this month. The Suicide Squad movie is out and it's doing very well. And I didn't know what to expect from it. I go to some hip hop news websites, and it said that Wiz Khalifa, Lil Wayne, Eminem were going to be on there, Rick Ross were going to be on there. So I kept tabs on it, and I said, I wonder what this is going to be like. So last year I reviewed the Southpaw soundtrack, and that was executive produced by Eminem and Shady Records. This time, there's just rap on there in general, which there's just not as many soundtracks that come out these days that are like that. So this is definitely something, if you're wondering in particular what to expect, you're going to find some rap on here, rock, just a mishmash of genres. Like there's some stuff like Kevin Gates and then a couple people like Kalani and those type people that have some it's current. That's one thing is there were some sounds on here that I wasn't particularly expecting, but it did cover some extra stuff. I don't have the songs that I did not admire written down, so I'm not near a computer, so it's not like I can just go back and refer to it. But so the main thing is, there's 14 songs on this project. There's plenty of stuff, and it's definitely got the excitement. The first song that kicks it off is Purple Lamborghini, and this is one of my favorite songs. I would almost buy this album for it. I'm thinking Rick Ross is back to his old days of the kind of stuff that he was making in 2010, 2012, pretty much what he started off with Teflon Don. So the songs that him and Meek Mill are really good at making, he did one of those songs, and it's pretty exhilarating. Rick Ross hasn't lost his touch, and there is kind of a dark feel to this project, but there's also somewhat of a trip, almost a trippy type feel to it. But then there's also some rock at the end, so that's kind of what you're getting is the rap, and the more current stuff is in the beginning. And then it kind of tries some different things towards the middle, and then the end is more rock-based. So, with that, I'm going to say Sucker for Pain was pretty mellow, but I think you'll probably like it. It's not as exhilarating, but it's still a good song. Just the approach of it is what's so good. Kind of makes you wonder, Sucker for Pain, what exactly that means. But, here we go. And so there are some other ones. I probably would have liked to have tossed in at least one more song that had a rap feel to it. 21 Pilots is on here. I think a lot of folks like him or them. I don't know that much about that group, but that's about my only complaint is you get Rick Ross on there, and then as far as the rap trip goes, the ride is basically over because it just only has like a small handful of other songs. I wasn't feeling the Kevin Gates song that much. It kind of felt similar to some of the stuff that, modern rappers are doing right now, but it just didn't stand out to me. I'm not saying that will work for everyone, but just pay attention. And so those are just a few. Eminem shows up on here, but it's the Without Me song. So I think a lot of you have probably heard this. That one seems like kind of a strange song to throw on there, but it works for what it is. It's still an effective song. It's one of his highest charting songs, if you didn't know. Eminem from the good old days, 2000, 2003. So, yeah, I'm trying to think. So the production on this, like I said, Purple Lamborghini is probably my favorite song. And I also like Sucker for Pain. Heathens is really good. Bohemian Rhapsody. I have not listened to that song, so I didn't know what to expect, but it's, it's pretty good. I don't want to, I know it's by Queen, and I understand that it's a song that has caught a lot of attention, but I do like the idea of it, and I was pretty liking it. So we will talk about now the songs that you need to hear. So out of 14 songs, I liked 8. So that's Purple Lamborghini, Sucker for Pain, Standing in the Rain, Gangsta, Heathens, Without Me, Wreak Havoc, and Bohemian Rhapsody. Those are the 8 ones. Now, most every one of these songs has someone that you're probably going to be familiar with. It's not so much that I couldn't do it, it's just a question of, the song, if I'm new to someone, the song has to be something that, really catches your eye. I've liked soundtrack albums before, and it just feels like sometimes the newer artists don't bring, A-list type stuff. But, I respect the people that, I don't want people thinking that, don't think that these artists don't have good music just because I didn't like those songs. Just pay attention off of this review and you'll be golden. But, trying to think of what else. So yeah, I want to reiterate Gangsta. I wasn't expecting that. That kind of reminds me of, that seems like she's an R&B singer, and that's kind of what R&B singers are doing, people 20 and 22 and that sort of thing. So that's what to expect on that song. I'm pretty interested by it. It wasn't so much of a bad thing right there. Heathens was another good one. I mean, some of the ones that just have singing and are not as, rough, I think really these were kind of good. Apparently Heathens has already charted, so 21 Pilots folks like them. So those are 2 good ones. And then Wreak Havoc was another one. This is by Skylar Grey. She's kind of associated with Eminem. If you didn't know, she was the one that wrote the song Love the Way You Lie. So that song by Eminem, if you kind of wonder why there hasn't been a song like it from either of Eminem or Rihanna, it's because it wasn't written by them. But she has been kind of around in the background, so just know that she's associated with Eminem, that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm going to give this album a 6.5 out of 10. That's the thing. It's going to get that. And the social score, I'm going to give it a 7.5 just because there's so many good songs. 21 Pilots, Lil Wayne, Wiz Khalifa, Kevin Gates, Rick Ross, Eminem, Panic at the Disco. I mean, there's plenty of stuff on here. So if I didn't say it, social means how well it's going to play around your friends if you listen to this music with them. That's about the only other thing. The future, unless they make a Suicide Squad 2, I'm thinking that this should wrap things up. This basically just came out this month, August of 2016. So that's the only thing. Can this record be topped? Probably, but my only real thing is I just would have liked another rap song that was as fast-paced as, the ones that I liked. But I know that with what they had to incorporate variety for everyone. So other than that, yeah, this is top-notch. It's probably a soundtrack album you should buy. I know a lot of times they just have like maybe 1 or 2 songs, but this one is not the case. Subscribe for more fun.